Did you know that white people are this afraid? They're afraid to say, I'm not a racist, and they're afraid to defend themselves. Did you know that about white people?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you knew that before all this happened?
Oh, yeah, I know that since I was a kid. You can, lose your entire career and your livelihood. Like,
so do they love their job more than they love what's right?
Probably.
When times get tough, you need to get down. No need to look backward, put your feet on the ground. Stand up, stand up.
Welcome to the TheFallenState. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Happy White History Month. This is our third year of celebrating white history. On all three taping today, I am wearing the same shirt because we are celebrating White History Month. And this is an amazing shirt. And don't forget, the TheFallenState has Patreon. Press the button to do something to get it. And check out our merch. Click on the store tab. So I have a very interesting guest today, all the way from Florida. He even flew in during the Chinese virus thing with the mask on, right? His name is Crishaun the Don. He's a rapper and host of the Misfit Nation Podcast?
Yes, sir.
How did you come up with that name? Well, thanks for coming, by the way, man.
Oh, of course. Thanks for having me. Yeah,
What does that mean, misfit?
I mean, I've never been a person who fit into a particular group. I know it's very cliche to say, but that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I always had, my father always called me a misfit too growing up.
Oh,
so
you
it was
did?
just he called all of us misfits, so it was just a name that stuck with me.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
I asked you already, but are you black or white or what are you?
I'm a mulatto.
A mulatto, like
I'm
a
mixed.
cafe mocha drink?
Yes, yes.
Oh, you
yes,
mixed?
yes, I'm
What
delicious.
do you mix with?
My father's from Jamaica, and he's Chinese, Indian, got black in us. My mom's Irish and Italian, English. I'm all over the place.
Oh, what a mess.
Oh, God. So I'm a mutt.
So I noticed that you look white, but you have black hair.
I guess. Well, it's black because it's locked up, I
Yeah.
think. I think that's why. Yeah.
It's amazing. What is the purpose of your show?
It was originally because I was doing rap music for a while, and the business of rap and hip hop is just horrendous. Like,
Right.
people just want you to do stuff for free, and it's actually a totally communist business, which doesn't make any sense.
Rap is?
Yes, because they want you to do stuff for free, and it's based on, oh, well, I don't have it, and we got to make it together, and that whole idea.
Right.
So I got out of rap, and I was like, I'm done with it. I'm done with the business of it, and I just had to have a way to express myself with everything that's going on.
Right.
And that's why I just started doing a podcast. Just
I
to
see.
say what I wanted to say without having to worry about rhyming it and doing, is that kind of
And
idea.
how long have you been doing it?
3 years now, probably
really?
a little longer, a little less, yeah.
Do you do when you were rapping? Did you curse? Did you do that dirty rap?
Yes, I was a total liberal. I was like, I had a changeover with with Donald Trump, actually. That's what switched me over
Really?
to being a conservative, and I used to be I was on the gateway to being what the extreme leftists are now. I
Right.
was with them. I was on the way with them. And I realized, like, I came up in the church. I did, I learned about that type of stuff before, so I had sense. When I started seeing it going super extreme,
Right.
I was out of it.
So are you a Christian?
I consider myself a Christian. I'm not saying I don't think I'm a good Christian, but
And what is a bad Christian? No, what is a good Christian?
I would say a person who. I'll just like, I smoke weed, I curse, I
I'm
do.
going to ask you to smoke pot.
Yeah.
Pothead.
I knew you were gonna say that too.
And so do you smoke pot every day?
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, you had something this morning?
A little bit.
So you're on pot right now?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you high right now?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I'm not high though. I'm not. I'm balanced. I'm relaxed. I'm chilled.
So if you were not on pot right now, would you be balanced and chilled?
I don't know. To be honest. Like,
Why do
I would be. Yeah, I would. I'm not an insane person or anything. I smoke it because I like it.
You drink and all that too?
No, I don't drink.
And so why do you smoke pot?
I look at it as sort of instead of drinking, and also I think there are a lot of benefits to it.
To smoking pot?
To smoking pot.
Like
yeah,
what?
Yeah. I mean, it prevents a lot of cancers. It prevents diabetes. It prevents, you know, a lot of stresses that you have. And
so you're
like,
telling me you're smoking that to
Alzheimer's,
prevent
you know?
those things?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not gonna lie to you and say
Oh,
that.
okay.
I'm
You're
smoking
doing
it because I enjoy
Right.
the relaxation of it and that type of deal.
Do you know that it lowers your consciousness?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Why not?
Cause I don't feel like I'm lowered consciously right now.
You know that guy?
Sorry, can I say this?
Yeah.
I don't believe how a lot of people believe it's the key to the whole universe. I don't believe that. Like where people like it actually makes you more conscious and more. I don't think that. It's not that big of a deal to me.
I noticed that people on pot, they have conversations. They think they're deep.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, wow, this guy or this woman doesn't have any idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Nick Cannon guy. He had a conversation. You know who Nick Cannon is?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Nick Cannon.
And
since
he
I
was
a
having
kid.
this conversation with another black guy. And he
Yes,
sounded like he was on pot because he made no sense.
But was he?
He sounded like he was, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
If he
Maybe
wasn't,
he needs some pot.
I'm about to say, he should pretend he was.
Right.
Because his conversation made
Can you believe what he
no
was?
sense
Can
at
you
all.
believe what he's saying though? Jesus, it's like
You had to be on pot to do that.
I don't think so.
You can say that without being on pot.
I heard it, and I was on pot when I heard it, and I was like, this guy's friggin' insane.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't attribute it to either way, to be honest. I mean, I think the science is still out for a lot of stuff on it. I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert on it.
Right.
But I think there's a lot more benefits to it than maybe you would even think. Like, have you ever looked into it?
Yeah.
at all? Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't believe any of it?
Most of the people who smoke pot are potheads.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
They just want some pot.
Yeah.
It's all fake. Let me ask, so you're a millennial?
Yeah, I guess so.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Yeah, that's millennial, right?
Yeah.
Millennial. No wonder you smoke pot.
Maybe you're right.
And so you are half black, half white. Am
Yeah.
I right? And so do you?
I'm 3/8 black, actually.
So,
That's the way I put it.
so do you date? What the black people say: if you have one drop of black blood, you black.
You're black. Nah.
Okay. So do you date-
As soon as I became a Republican and a conservative, that all went out the window.
What, the
I'm
ba-
straight white man now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you date black girls?
Yes.
Do you date white girls?
I'm date mostly black girls, but
And why is that?
just kind of I guess the attraction the natural attraction I have.
What's
to 'em.
attraction about 'em?
I guess if I'm gonna be honest, it's the fixing of them. You have to fix black women, but the idea that all people are scared of black women is hilarious to me. Where,
Yeah.
like, I think that's the initial attraction is shutting down that whole thing, and they're willing. They're just as soon as you shut it down, they're just willing to give it to you, just because they don't get that, I guess, from black men or from
Yeah.
any men that deal with them.
But most black men are afraid of black women.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And so you're able to deal with the attitude and all that?
Yeah, because I don't accept it. I don't let it fly.
And they like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And why don't you date white women?
I date white women too. I'm not saying I don't say okay, I'm going just for black women. I just end up with
How
black
about
women more.
Chinese?
No.
How about
I
Japanese?
I don't like Chinese women.
You don't like?
I'm not attracted to them.
How about Mexicans?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
I'm like a good border jumper.
that's
you know?
amazing. So, border jumper. What made you? I know that you like my show.
Love your show, yes.
And what about it that you like?
Initially, it was the beta alpha
Beta.
thing, beta male. Yeah, I do a good impression of you too. by
Yeah,
the
I
way.
like that.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Is your mama a slut?
Slut maker.
Slut maker.
Are you a slut maker?
I guess I am.
You
Yeah.
like being
I'm
a
trying
slut?
not to be anymore because I realize it's sort of destructive to women. Like even if I always thought okay, as long as I'm not being the beta male, I'm giving them something. But I realized like if I'm not thinking of like, all right, this is gonna go somewhere, it's kind of destructive to them at the end of it.
Yeah.
No matter what. So.
They need men to be right. As a
Yeah,
Christian,
yeah.
does it bother you to smoke pot, have sex out of wedlock, do all that stuff? Does that bother you?
The sex out of wedlock, yeah. Like there is a guilt there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
And so why do it?
Human, I guess, need. I don't know. It's that I'm. If I could remove that need for sex, I would be a totally different, like I'd be
You
perfect.
would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I could figure that out, and that would help my relationships more.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and I realize that, and I'm actively trying to change that now. Like or I am changing it. Let me not say trying to.
Yeah. And what are you doing to change it? To try to change it?
Not just like I see women all the time that I'm attracted to initially.
Yeah.
But I don't always just go for that right away. If I see a woman that I don't see anything with, I don't pursue it sexually.
Are you
know what I
addicted
mean?
to sex?
I don't know. It's a
You-
possibility.
You can't help yourself?
I can help myself for a time.
For like a day?
No.
A few
I'm
hours?
good. No, I can go.
You can go longer than-
because I do a lot of business. I do a lot of,
Oh.
so I go long times without, and I don't even worry about it.
And
Like,
so, but it is something you want to overcome.
yeah, of course.
And
All
then-
weaknesses.
And just wait until marriage.
I would. That would actually be.
It's the right thing to do.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you before the show is over what to do.
Okay.
You can totally get control over it.
Okay.
All right. You believe racism exists or not?
I don't believe systemic racism exists.
How about racism? Period.
Y-
The reason I asked you this because I saw
Yeah,
that video
yeah.
where you and your friends were talking about about me, but it was about racism
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So do you believe? And I heard you say you don't believe systemic racism exists, but it sounds like you believe racism exists.
I believe there are people. This is what I think. I think there are people who are legit racist. I think the thing is, though, is most, maybe 95% of the things that could get called out for being racist are not really racist. So in that sense, I do agree with you.
And what
But-
is that
What do you mean?
racism? What does it look like?
I guess disliking somebody for the color of their skin.
Have you ever heard anyone say that they dislike a person because they're black?
Yeah, I was the only white kid in an all-black school, so I've experienced racism from that side. So
But-
for me to,
But they didn't like you?
I got picked on more because I would look different and I was a different color. I got picked on for the color of my skin.
Did
so,
they
yeah.
say it was just because you were white?
I mean, it was school, so I don't even think they knew.
Right, so they didn't say it was because you were white.
They made fun. They outcasted me because I was white.
But did they say they were racist against you because you were white?
I don't think they outright said it like.
And so why
Right,
do
like
you
that.
say it's because it was so-called racism then?
Because it was because of the color of my skin that they were making
Did-
fun
did
of me.
they
They
say
didn't
that?
say that.
Right.
But
You
if
assume
that
that?
was always their target, then
Right.
I have to assume that's why they were doing it.
But
I'm not a victim in it though. I'm not
Right.
looking
No,
at
I
it that way.
noticed that, yeah.
I'm just saying like it is what
we're
it is.
just talking about what it is.
Yeah.
But black people don't hate white people just because they're white. They hate white people because they've been told that white people hate them and that white
Yeah.
people are trying to hold them back because of slavery and Jim Crow and all that.
Yeah.
It's not just because you're white, but they think that you've done injustice to them.
It makes a lot of sense.
So it's not just because of a color.
Okay, I see what you're. So you're saying it's boiled down to just that. Like it has to be just fueled by just that.
Yeah, but there is no one who hates someone or so-called racist because of your color. It's only because they've judged you for something.
I see what you're saying.
They have a bad impression about you or they've been lied to about you. And so it's a judgment, not a race color thing. They hate you because they think that you did them wrong.
Just like if somebody's saying they're racist against black people, they're usually trying to put all the the crime and all this and stuff on them.
So they see that
I
a
see
lot
what-
of blacks
yeah.
are committing crimes and they're doing all that. And so they don't hate the blacks because they're black. They hate them because they're either afraid of them or they know they're violent people or something that they are made a judgment by.
Right.
It's a spiritual thing, right or wrong. It's not merely because of a color. They have made some type of judgment about you.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Actually,
so-
that makes total sense because that's what most people. It always roots to that.
Yeah,
It
they
roots to
always
all
say,
that.
well, I hate you because white people hate us, or white people did this, or white people that. They never say, well, I just hate you because you white.
I just hate that you don't have enough melanin.
Right.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Except for-
always
except for
something
Nick
else
Cannon.
behind.
Nick
But
Cannon.
in your mind, if you have not asked them, you assume that it's because of your color, when it's really not just color thing. And so in that, That's why I say racism does not exist. It's just a word that's made up to control you. So you don't see the cause, the real deal of what's going on.
Right, right, right.
You can't see really what's happening.
That makes a lot of sense.
And that's why people don't overcome it, because they're trying to prove something that doesn't exist. Like racism does not exist. You either have love or you have hate.
Mm-hmm.
So would you consider yourself an alpha male or beta male?
Definitely an alpha male.
And what's alpha about you?
I'm independent in the sense of I take care of my business. I go to work every day. I pay my taxes. I don't complain about having to work hard. I've changed my work ethic completely, where a hard day's of work to me, I have a pride in that now. Like being able to do that, helping women when they need help, like lifting things and stuff. I don't, you know what I mean? Like that type of stuff to me doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah.
Where you'll go, like back in the day, it'd be, oh, well, that's not my job. You know what I mean? But I look at it as my job as a man is to do those things.
Would an alpha male have sex out of wedlock?
Yeah, sure.
An alpha male would have sex out of wedlock?
No, I see where you're going with that. Yeah, I think I do have weaknesses. I think I'm on the way to being a complete alpha male. I think I'm a work in progress in that sense. I'm not a beta male though.
So if you're not a beta male, you're on your way from where?
From being a beta male.
And so you're in between
I
beta
used
and
to-
alpha?
I'm not in between. I'm further on the side of the alpha.
So
I used to be
you
a beta
started
male.
off as a beta, and alpha is here. So you're like in the middle of the road?
No.
So are you an alpha male?
Yeah, sure.
You're an alpha male?
That's my original answer.
And would an alpha male have sex out of wedlock?
No.
And so are you alpha male?
No, Jesse.
You're not an alpha male?
I see it as I'm on the way there.
On
And
the way to alpha?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Having sex out of wedlock. I've acknowledged that that's not right to do, and I'm changing that in my life.
Would an alpha male smoke pot?
Yeah,
An alpha male would smoke pot?
yeah.
How you know?
Because I'm I'm an alpha male. No, I don't think you've proven that smoking pot is a bad thing.
Well, it lowers your consciousness, and whenever your consciousness is lowered, you don't know what you're doing. You can't see right. You don't see clearly. Men are supposed to have clear conscience because they're supposed to be logical in order to guide women and children in the right way to go.
Fair.
What do you think about that?
I don't see how that. How does it lower? I don't want to get into the debate
Right.
about pot. It's not that important
Right,
to me,
not
to be
that,
honest.
yeah.
But I don't. I disagree in the pot. It lowering your conscience.
Do you?
You need to smoke a little bit, Jesse.
I'm sorry?
You need to smoke a little bit. You might see.
I need to smoke.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to smoke when I was a beta male.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it made me self-conscious, and I never became comfortable with it. And I mostly did it because my friends were doing it, and we
Peer
would go out
pressure,
to the
yeah.
club, and I would tell them, look, if you want to go in the club, I can't smoke pot. And they would get me high on the way to the club, and I'd be so paranoid.
They hotboxed you.
They would get mad because I couldn't go in. And then they had to take me back home, and they all pissed off. I'm like, I told you that we couldn't. So I finally got away from it.
Yeah.
Do you support same-sex marriage?
No.
And why not?
It's. Well, let me rephrase. I don't care, to be honest. I don't like if I was a preacher, I wouldn't marry two men, because I think it is against it goes against the religion, the idea of marriage is between a man and a woman. I do believe that. As far as the worldly side of it, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, we're letting so much is going on. It's like I don't care to fight for it either way.
Is
Like,
it
it's
normal or abnormal?
I think it's abnormal.
Okay, how about all this transgender stuff?
Oh, that's freaking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, we have to pretend to be insane with them. That's my problem with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
Do you pretend?
No. not
Yeah,
at all.
me either.
I offend a lot of people, Jesse.
Yeah. Do you support abortion?
No, not at all.
And why not?
It's murder. It's killing a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's as simple as that. I mean, they want to make it into this big argument, but the fact is, like, you get to that very point, and they don't want to. It's murder when they want it to be murder.
Yeah.
It's abortion, and it's a woman's right when it's their right. Like, it doesn't work both ways. And
I was talking to a preacher yesterday who called me, a black guy. He said that he have lost 5 children by way of abortion. Even one set of twins. The women that he was dating were getting pregnant, but they would abort the kids. And at the time, he didn't mind. He didn't care, but now he regrets it.
yeah. Well, look at
That's
Kanye.
a lot of kids, 5 kids.
Yeah, that's insane.
And what about Kanye?
Kanye, that was part of his big rant, is he was screaming that he almost killed his daughter.
Yeah.
Because he almost had Kim have an abortion.
What do you think about Kanye West running for president?
I think it's Kanye being Kanye. I mean, I don't. I said this on my show. I think politics are too interesting right now.
Yeah.
For there to be any trolling or anything going on. Like,
Yeah.
Trump is way too interesting. Biden is a doornail.
Yeah,
So it's like,
that's amazing.
yeah.
Do you think that Kanye West has a mental disorder? You know, his wife tried to say
I
that
think
he's
so.
mental in some kind of way.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I think there's something unbalanced with him. I don't know what it is. I'm not an expert again.
Right. Why do you think there is something unbalanced with him?
I think there's a pain in his life that he's ignoring, and I always believed it was his mother dying. And because once
his
he
mother
lost
dying?
his mother,
Yeah.
there was a change in Kanye. That was something seemed off about him, like where he was lost. You know what I mean?
And you think that that's what he's going through now? Even though you don't know for sure, you're not a doctor, you're not an expert, but do you think he's tripping now, or he's really a Christian?
I think he's in a cycle. He's like in a never-ending cycle because he's doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it's an attention thing or what it is. I believe he's had a change in politics. I don't know where that's going or what's the
Right.
point of it.
Yeah.
Is it selling albums? Is it what? I like I said, I don't care enough just because politics are too interesting for
The
me.
reason I don't believe it because he's a Republican, he's drawing a lot of blacks from the Democratic Party, and the fact that the liberal media and everyone calling him crazy, it made me think they're doing it because they're liars anyway. They're not going to tell the truth.
A part of that is
And
that.
so
yeah.
they're trying to make him look bad because he is having a negative effect on the Democratic Party as for taking blacks away.
Yes and no. Just because I think it's possible to still there's something wrong. I agree that they have been trying to portray that he's crazier than he is because he'll say something that's pretty normal,
Yeah.
and they'll try to blow it
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
just like they do with Trump, just like
Yeah.
they do with you,
Yeah.
just like they do with a lot of people. So yeah, that's a big part of it. I don't think he's crazy for becoming a Trump supporter.
Right.
I think he's been a little off. I think he seems a little more clear-minded now.
What was your life like growing up? For
we
you?
we didn't have a lot of money growing up. We were, poor and stuff. We had our ups and downs. My mother was a drug addict and an alcoholic my whole life. She's much better now, but so that was pretty hard
Yeah.
to deal with. But
And
that
was your father around?
yeah
So he was in the home?
yeah
So your father and mother married?
yeah still.
And so what was it like with him? How was your relationship with your father?
We didn't talk much growing up, and that was just sort of how our family was.
Yeah.
Things would happen, and then we would sweep it under the rug and pretend it didn't happen. So that was a big change in my life where I was like that, where I was afraid of confrontation. I realized that was super destructive because I started losing my mind, where I started becoming the only one that was like, hey, there's a problem here going on, and nobody's acknowledging it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I think that I had a lot of like problems emotionally dealing with things and stuff like that, but I learned from a lot of it. All of it, really.
How was it hard on you, your mother being on drugs and things like that? How was that hard on you personally?
To come home every day from school and not know, like, if she was going to be alive or not, like that type of deal. I had a point where I had to basically pretend she wasn't alive, I guess, to mentally deal with it. To go like,
Amazing.
Yeah, to go like, all right, like I have to get ready for her to overdose one day. You know what I mean? Or get into an accident or do something. And I had to believe that was what it was. You know what I mean?
And when you would talk to your father about it, what would he say?
He was in denial. I had to almost yell at him at points.
When you say denial, he didn't believe she was on drugs?
No,
or-
he did. He knew, but he was in denial that it was like such an issue. You know what I mean? That it was affecting us.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? So it was more of like, well, you gotta love your mother, and that's sort of, and he's right, you do, but you have to acknowledge the issues that are going on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you, so you really didn't have anyone to help you deal with that in the right way growing up?
I had good friends. I had a good friend of mine is actually he used to be my youth pastor growing up when I was in the church and stuff,
Oh, okay.
and I always kept in touch with him, and he helped guide me a little bit through a lot of things. A lot of stuff I had to learn on my own though. Like
Yeah.
my dad taught me a lot though. Let me not downgrade that. My dad taught me a whole lot. Just
Are you close to him now?
yeah.
And have you forgiven him for not protecting you from your mother?
Yes.
You told him that?
Yes, I did.
And have you forgiven your mother?
Yes.
You told her that?
Mm-hmm.
You went to your mother?
Yes.
And what did you say to her?
We had a whole conversation. She's off all the stuff now. She's sober and yeah. So we had a whole conversation, and I told her about how it affected me as a kid and all that type of stuff. It affected me with relationships with women.
Yeah.
Big time. And I told her I forgive you. I was like, I forgive you. I can't hold on to it.
And what did she say?
She accepted it. I mean, I don't think any mother wants to hear her son say that, but she had to accept her problems. you
When
know?
did you go and forgive her?
This was even before she was sober. So I forget exactly when, but I was growing up, and I was like, I can't keep this anger in my life anymore.
Yeah.
It's really destroying it's so destructive, and I had to let that go, and it was truly letting it go. I forgave her before in the past, but it was fake. It
Right.
wasn't really forgiving her.
Yeah.
When I said it, I was like, all right, that's it. Like,
So when you went to her and said, I forgive you for screwing up my life, she got mad?
no. I think she knew. I think she accepted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like,
so
she
you-
knew what it was.
You told your father you forgive him for not protecting you from her?
Yes. Not in those words, but I did say, I forgive you for letting all that stuff happen. Like
Yeah.
I had to let it go.
Why did he not do something?
I don't know. Maybe it was laziness. Maybe it was being from the islands. We don't talk about that type of stuff.
Your father's black, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I rest my case.
Good
Say
point. I
no
should have just
more.
said that, right?
Yeah, that's all you need to say.
Oh, true.
You should have said, you know what, my father's black. I said, oh, okay. I'll rest my case.
Well, you're right though, because from the island they don't talk about problems like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't. And so you're better now, right?
Yeah.
That you've forgiven her?
Yes. I don't have really any anger in me about like people saying things to me. Like I'm not sensitive about stuff like that anymore. Like I like conflict in the sense of like I feel like it works. It gets things done. Like
So do you have anger?
no.
You have no anger at all?
I don't feel any anger.
You never feel anger at all?
I get, for instance, we watched the country freaking crumble for the last 3 months. That
Right.
angered me. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Right.
watching this, the beautiful country that we built, and it's just getting destroyed by people that don't know anything about anything.
No one can get to you anymore, though?
No, not really. I haven't come across anybody that's been able to get to me.
They cannot make you angry?
No.
You don't have it on the inside?
No, I don't think
Amazing,
so.
man.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
good.
so.
Did you know that any male that has anger is a woman?
Yes.
You knew that.
You
heard
taught me
say
that. You taught me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you first heard that, what did you think about that?
It resonated with me so much that everything I just told you about my mother and everything, I realized like even the anger for my father, that was my mother's anger. Where I was like,
Absolutely.
I'm mad he didn't
Yeah.
help my mother, or he didn't do this, or he did this, or he, you know what I mean? Like I was holding on to the stuff she told me as a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what's wrong with black men. They have become their mothers because you become like whomever you're angry at. Because anger is hatred or resentment, whatever you want to call it. But you take on the identity of the person that you resent. And so black men being raised by women, black women, grandmothers and mothers, if you notice they get angry, they snap just like a woman.
Yes,
they get
yes.
angry. They can't take anything just like a woman, so they act like a woman. That's why they have to be born again of the Father.
I used to be a producer for gangster rappers, and they are the most emotional people on the
just like
planet.
mama.
You can't see you're walking on eggshells all the time because it's like this. There's always this anger. There's always this tension. I have to look back, and I had to get out of gangster rap for that, and I'm not even in. I was done with it.
Yeah.
I was tired of being.
And they don't
around
realize
emotional guys.
that's what it is, though. They don't know they need to return to the fathers. And mothers turn their children away from the father because she hates the father.
Yeah.
Because who he represent, representing God.
Right.
And so they have to forgive the mother so they can return to the father, and that will cause them to return to their natural state of being.
Yeah.
And then they would be logical rather than illogical.
And you're right, because almost in that order, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
I had to figure my mother first in order to figure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, it is.
Do you tell other people that?
Tell them what?
That they need to forgive the mothers?
Oh yeah, all the time.
How do they deal with that?
They
In
get
the black
emotional.
community especially, mama is God.
Oh, it's the trigger word.
Yeah.
You don't talk about your mom in the hood. Emotions, for some reason, a lot of men have a hard time getting rid of that. Like, they have a hard time letting go.
They have to be born again of the spirit of the Father. Then God will renew their mind. He'll take it away from them. And they'll come back to their normal self. I got to ask, is there anything you disagree with me about that you would like to ask me about or talk about? Anything?
I don't know. I want to always ask you this. Do you actually like rap music? Besides do you like the sound of it?
I like the good rap music. Like these guys, they do rapping. Like, you got to get over your mama. You got to hate your tongue. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they all rap.
Sounds like a catchy little tune.
Yeah. So I like the music, sometimes the sound, but not the curse words and what they say about women.
message.
I don't like all that.
Yeah.
But I like decent rap music if it's inspiring.
Fair point.
So is there anything you disagree with? Anything else?
Not that I could think of.
All right, so I got to ask you then. Do you agree with me when I say that I'm going to buy a plantation and put the blacks back on the plantation?
I
So
mean,
I can teach. Do you agree with me most blacks are lazy?
Not all, but most.
You agree with that?
With the entitlement, yes, there's an entitlement of they don't feel like they have to work because
So you
they
like
deserve the reparations and all that
Yeah.
type of. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
You like my plantation idea? Because I heard that conversation you and the guys were having about that. The two guys on the couch.
Yes,
And
yes.
one really didn't like the idea of me putting blacks back on the plantation.
The other one actually agrees with you
Yeah.
on a good amount of that.
Yeah.
I think it's a sentiment that people were put off by it, but I'll agree with you as long as I can watch the gun line.
Amazing. So listen, how do your friends and family deal with you now that you are a Trump supporter, the Great White Hope?
The Great White Hope. Most of my family on my white side are Trump supporters. My mother's a Trump supporter. My father's not.
Right.
I've been disowned by quite a few family members. A lot of my friends. It's insane, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube is. I get death threats all the time on
Yeah.
YouTube. It is what it is. I mean,
So do you feel white or you feel black?
I identify as white.
You identify as
Yeah,
white?
yeah.
Have you always identified as white?
I don't know. I think it's all stupid. I don't. I say I identify as white just because it pisses off black people. That's really it. Like I like to troll. It pisses off liberals. That's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to me.
What do you think about my White History Month?
It's fine.
Did you know about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is third year.
Yeah, nice.
I got to ask you about Black Lives Matter.
Sure.
Do you believe that Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, of course.
And what does that mean?
See, answering that question is I think the whole saying of Black Lives Matter is ridiculous, and the idea of it's implying that, like, saying it to me implying that I don't care about Black lives. I don't even like getting into it. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um,
You deal with that on your show?
yeah, all the time, all the time. I
So-
don't like the group. I think the group is destructive. I think they
and-
don't
and
like
why?
black people.
Yeah.
Because they don't. For instance, I just did a video on the 8-year-old girl
Right.
that got killed in Chicago, and they got killed by Black Lives Matter protesters. So people accuse me of sticking up for the white man while defending this 8-year-old girl who got killed, and these are Black Lives Matter people, and they don't want to acknowledge that this girl got killed, and this is a black life
Yeah.
that we lost.
Yeah.
Maybe even more valuable as opposed to the scumbag that killed her. Obviously more valuable. But we'll stick up for him and try to get him freed and not acknowledge the 8-year-old that got killed. You know what I
Amazing,
mean?
yeah.
Like, to me, it's so perverted. You see these protests where you got white college girls yelling at black police officers
Yeah.
that they're racists. It's
It's
stupid.
insane.
It's so insane.
Did you know it was started by a bunch of fat black radical lesbians?
Yes, I did.
You knew that?
I think I learned that from you too.
Oh, yeah. Are you surprised knowing that it started by a bunch of fat black radical lesbians? Radical lesbians, right?
Yeah.
And they hate God. They hate the nuclear family.
Yes.
They hate the unborn children. They want to turn America into a socialist society. It's on their site. Are you surprised so many people are following these people? Men and women, white people kneeling down. Have you kissed the Black Lives feet yet?
Oh no.
You have not lived, man.
I told
You got to kiss the feet.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm a racist apparently.
Yeah.
But
Are you surprised people are following them and white people kissing feet and washing feet and all that?
I was initially, but I realized that I know why is because conservatives and Republicans suck at relating to people and getting their message across and making people realize that this message is actually better
Yeah.
than that liberal message. The reason though is, you turn on any TV show, any movie, it always has a liberal message, and it indoctrinates people
Yeah.
without them realizing
Yeah.
that that's what we have to do, So, and being a conservative is like talking about work ethic and different types of things. Like it's harder. You have to be smarter to be a conservative. You have to actually read, and you have to, know what's going on and know what you have a system to follow. You know what I mean? I don't know. Conservatives need to do a better job at promoting the ideology and making it not be just racism or
Did
sexism.
you know that white people are this afraid? They're afraid
Yeah.
to say, I'm
Yeah.
not a racist, and they're afraid to defend themselves. Did you know that about white people?
Yeah.
Oh, you knew that before all this happened?
Oh yeah, I know that since I was a kid.
But why are they so afraid to
I think
stand up for what's right?
well, nowadays you can lose your job. You can lose your entire career and your livelihood. Like
So do they love their job more than they love what's right?
probably.
That's why they're afraid.
Yeah. You're definitely picking money over what's right.
Yeah.
So I think it's such a comfortable thing to do now. It's so like we're used to doing. Nobody will go, oh, you're an idiot for that. They'll actually go, you're smart for sticking with your job.
Yeah.
That's a good thing you did that. Like,
Isn't that amazing?
but you shouldn't even be getting your job as opposed to like I said something on Twitter, and now I'm getting fired for that.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense for those two to correlate.
But the only reason they're able to do it is because it's too important to the white people.
Mm-hmm.
And so they see that what they've done over the years, if a white person stand up and tell the truth or disagree with a black, they'll take the job and then they'll cut your head off and show you, like, if you stand up, this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so it reminds me of the Taliban. So if if your job is more important, you're going to be afraid that if you speak up, they're going to take your job.
Yeah.
But if what's right is more important, they can't take that away from you, so you're not afraid to stand up.
Well, it's like, are you to ask the definitive question, are you willing to die for this?
For what is right.
For what is right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what they have to. They have to love what's right with all their heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else.
Right.
Then they wouldn't be afraid.
Yeah. And then everybody will say that they'll die for the right thing, but most
They
people won't.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm running out of time, so I got to ask you about Will Smith.
Why?
Will Smith is married to a woman by the name of Jada, something.
Jada, yeah.
Jada Smith. And apparently they broke up and she cheated with some young guy. And she doesn't care what he think about it.
Yeah. This is what I always said. A woman can't build herself up without tearing down a man in the process. And that's exactly what we're seeing with her. Is she doesn't care about Will's image or the fact that he makes more money than her and he's the empire and she's just the woman there.
Right.
And she does her movies, but they're whatever. The thing of she's not there to protect him, and he's letting it happen. And I don't know. It's.
Why is he letting it happen?
I think he's afraid of political backlash. I think here's the thing is she was being open and honest on her show, and he couldn't do the same. If they're going like, hey, we have an open relationship, and she's like, yeah, I went and had sex with this guy, why isn't he now doing that?
Right.
Why isn't he going, yeah, and I had sex with this girl over here? It was all about protecting her image and not his. They're giving away a bit of his image, and it's actually all of his image to build her up. And it's all based on political nonsense.
And it really made him look bad. It
Yeah,
made him look weak,
it's going to
and
cost them money.
People are not going to respect him now.
Not at all.
Because of that.
Not at all.
That's amazing.
Jada and Beta.
I know. And his son dressed in women clothes, right?
Yeah.
One of those things.
Yeah.
Is he still
And
doing that?
I think he has a boyfriend, too.
He does?
Yeah, I think he's...
I didn't know that.
Little so-so.
I wasn't aware of that. Are you serious?
That's what I heard.
But I'm not surprised if that's true, coming from parents who are so messed up.
Yeah.
So messed up. And what about Nick Cannon? What do you think about what he said about the whites and the Jews?
I mean, talked about it. It is. I always use the word black supremacy, and people lose their mind when you say that. It's not a real thing. And it's like he's literally saying, if you don't have enough melanin in your skin,
I know.
You're less than a human. You're a savage. You're this and that. Like, had that been anybody else, or had that been a white person that said anything nearly as bad as that, it would have been off with the head. Like, there's people that are boycotting Viacom now to protect him for what he said. Like, he's not that guy.
Trying to get his job back?
I don't know.
Oh, they're just.
I'm assuming
they let
trying
him
to.
go, right?
Yeah, they
and now
fired
they're
him.
protesting Viacom.
They're protesting Viacom. They're
That's
trying to
amazing.
boycott it. I don't think it's working because I don't think people are that stupid.
I noticed that he apologized for what he said about the Jews, but not what he said about the
white people,
whites.
yeah.
Why is that?
Because you don't have to apologize for things you say about white people.
And why not?
There's no risk. There's no. You can't say what you want about black people because you'll get boycotted and you'll get, like, and for the most part, people don't see it as they see it as completely destructive. You say one bad thing about a black person, even if it's just about, if I said something about you personally, like, hey, I don't like Jesse because his hair looks stupid, people will go, that's racist.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's totally not like sometimes I say to a lot of my black friends, I go, you're saying the person that you had a bad interaction with is racist, but maybe you're actually just an asshole.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe you have to look at yourself
That's
and go,
right, man.
hey, I did that. I realized I rubbed people the wrong way a lot of the times, and you got to accept it. You got to take personal responsibility.
Were you surprised when he apologized what he said about the Jews, but not the whites?
Honestly, I didn't expect him to apologize. I was actually surprised he apologized at all. Like,
About the Jew thing?
even about all of it, yeah.
Really?
Because I think you could say anything you want about Jews nowadays, and most people like cheer you on.
But he apparently not, because he lost his job and then he apologized, but he never, I haven't heard one yet, an apology about all that stuff he said about the white people.
Yeah,
It was even worse.
yeah. We'll be waiting all day for that one. That's not coming.
So is he a hater of whites?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want. What he said was pretty bad. It was pretty egregious. Yeah.
It was mind blowing.
Yeah.
It was like he was on pot.
I never said anything like that on pot. That was like Hitler level ideology. You just replace white with black.
It's amazing how it's okay to say whatever you want about white people.
Yeah.
You can knock them out, you can rob them, you can rape them, you can say whatever you want, and there are no consequences.
And here's the thing, I'm fine with that. But the problem is that if it's not fair across the board, then there's a problem with it. If I wish we can all just say anything about each other. When I was growing up, that's all we did is made fun of how each other looked.
That's right.
And made fun of somebody because they were black and how they look. Like, that's what we did. And we got along better, actually.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have 2 brothers.
And how are they doing?
They're still kind of a few steps behind me, I would think. Like.
Meaning what?
My brother, my older brother is, he's more of calls my mother for every little thing type deal.
Your mama's boy?
Yeah, he's a mama's boy.
Oh, I see. And so are they older than you or younger?
My brother's, I'm the middle kid.
Oh,
middle
okay.
child, yeah.
Are you close to them?
So. Yeah, we're not call each other every day and hang out type deal, but.
Oh, y'all live in the same town?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I got to heat this up. I got to put you on the hot seat.
Let's do it.
And I need you to answer these questions as quickly as possible.
All right.
The hot seat.
Who is the best rapper of all time?
Me.
Is climate change a lie?
For the most part, yeah.
Was it a mistake to give women the right to vote?
Yes.
Was Jesus white?
No, he was like me. He was a mulatto.
Would you ever take a vow of celibacy?
I wish I could say yes.
What is a man?
A man is a protector, provider, always wanting to do the right thing.
Did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself?
If he didn't, he should have.
What is your greatest fear?
Failure?
Is it possible to have perfect peace?
I think so.
Do you love white people?
No.
You don't love white people?
I don't love people based on race.
So you don't love white people?
There's white people I love, but I don't love people based on like, oh, that's a white person, I love them.
Do you love black people?
No. I don't love people based on race.
What is love?
Wanting to, caring about somebody enough to sacrifice your own, sacrifice something to help, I don't know. Sorry. You care enough about somebody that you would sacrifice something that you love personally in your life.
Amazing.
To help them.
Did I ask you what is a man?
Yeah.
What is a man?
You need to smoke weed. That
I know,
Alzheimer's
I
is catching
remember.
up with you.
That's right. What is a man?
Protector, provider
Of what?
of family,
Oh, okay.
love, community. I mean, I think standing up for what's right. I think that's very manly and noble to do.
Amazing. Did you have fun?
Had a lot of fun, sir.
That was amazing, man.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Can I say something real quick to wrap
Yes,
it up?
Absolutely.
This city sucks.
Oh, yeah, I was going to
LA
ask you what you think about LA.
This is a cesspool, and
Definitely.
literally every third person you walk by is punching themselves in the face or talking to themselves. If you hear somebody behind you go, "Hello, hey, what's up?" and you look back, they might not be carrying a phone. They're just saying that. Drug addicts, it's disgusting.
No, it's a mess.
It's dirty. It's time for you to come back to the plantation, Jesse. You
That's
gotta
for sure.
You gotta come
When
back.
I moved here in '68, it was beautiful. It looked like paradise.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Now when I drive down the street, it doesn't look like LA at all. It's amazing what they've done to this place.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do this to a city.
Democrat policies, man. That's what it's been
Amazing.
doing for decades.
It sure is, man. We got to change it though. So listen.
Yes.
Is there something you'd like to promote?
I got an album.
Show? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Just dropped an album. It's actually supposed to be coming out. It should be out by the time this video drops. It's called 800 Pound Gorilla. I'm coming from an anti-political correctness place. That would be the main drive of my album. As conservatives, it goes with the communication thing.
Right.
We have to find better ways to communicate our beliefs.
Yeah.
We have to start making movies. We have to start making albums. We have to
That's for
start
sure.
writing songs, and we have to compete. And if we win, Donald Trump wins, that's only buying us another 4 years.
Right.
You know, because after that, we still got to sell this conservatism to people and this idea. So I want to be a part of that. But still
How
do
can
music.
people get your music?
It's gonna be on iTunes. It's gonna be on CD Baby, YouTube. Check out my podcast too.
What is it again?
Misfit Nation Podcast.
Okay.
Misfit Nation Podcast.
One last quick thing. What's your impression of millennial men today?
I think they're not men. They annoy the hell out of me. Like I have to try to change any one of my friends that are the quintessential millennial.
Yeah.
I'm the millennial Maharaja. I'm gonna save it for you, Jesse.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you
Thank
coming.
you, sir.
All right.
Thank
you
you.
so much. And thank you all for tuning in. I absolutely appreciate it. Let me hear from you. Don't forget to merch, donate to the nonprofit, to TheFallenState.tv, and all that good stuff. I absolutely appreciate it. Take care, and happy White History Month. July just feels white. It's amazing. Thank you, folks. Thank you, man.
Yes.
All right.
Next time on The Fallen State.
One thing about white people, they love to work.
That's not what I've seen. They love to steal
What did they steal?
our land, like our culture.
Will you celebrate White History Month with me?
I absolutely will not.
July doesn't feel white.
No, it does not feel white.
Vacation, 4th of July, summertime.
Murder, genocide, like raping. Does that feel very white? Yes, that feels very white.
Are you okay with the burning and the destruction, this terrorist attack upon America and people's life being taken and all that?
Well, that's not how I see what's happening. I am excited by it.
Did you think this way prior to going to school or after you went to school?
After several years of college.
Brainwashing. Dr. Chris Fenley, an assistant professor at USC. Thanks for watching The Fallen State. We need your continued support. Donate to my nonprofit here. Subscribe and like the videos here. And tell everybody and their mama about the show.